How would it feel if you could take the helm and lead your ship? Welcome to the Leadership Interviews. Here we speak to female leaders or those who are empowering women in leadership from all walks of life. Come and learn, grow, and expand your potential in the ocean of possibilities that we will hear from these experienced leaders. Join me, Alison, from Pearl Potential Coaching and Hypnotherapy, on my journey to spark change in you, young leaders, and prepare to separate yourself from your peers and be the next leader of your field. Hi everyone, it's Alison here from Pearl Potential Coaching and Hypnotherapy. Today's interview is with Ellen Zolnowski. Ellen is a Defence National Project Coordinator within the construction industry. And have you ever thought that maybe university isn't for you, or maybe you've done a degree and you're not sure if it's the right career path for you? Well, this is the perfect interview for you to listen to. Ellen talks about her journey from leaving high school and going straight into the industry, and then now reaching a very high level within her company without having a degree behind her. I think it's a really awesome talk, and you'll learn a lot about how to take on opportunities that are presented to you, how to overcome limiting beliefs, and also Ellen talks a lot about finding really good and solid mentors to help you achieve your goals. She also talks a little bit about her running journey, her journey as the Lululemon Rundle Mall ambassador. Really cool insights and really fun ideas as well. So I hope you enjoy it as much as I did talking to her. Hi everyone, it's Alison from Pearl Potential Coaching and Hypnotherapy. Today I am joined by Ellen Zolnowski. I might get you to correct me on my pronunciation there.
No, you nailed it.
But Ellen is a Defence National Project Coordinator in the construction and engineering industry. She's also known as the Polish Weapon at her local run club, and over the past year has been the Rundle Mall Lululemon ambassador. So Ellen, how do you fit all this in? Tell us, how do you squeeze all these activities in?
Thanks, Ali. Firstly, thank you for having me. It's my first interview, so I'm very excited to be a part of it all. How I fit it all in, it's a very good question. I am the kind of person that sort of just wakes up, and it's like from the moment I wake up, it's what can I fit into my day? So I'm up pretty early. I'll get my run done in the morning. Walk the dog, and then sort of get ready and start the day for work. So then, full day of work. After work, that's when I sort of start to wind down. So I feel like I'm up in the morning, and I go downhill from the afternoon. So always just trying to fit as much as I can in the day. Weekends are the same.
Nice. So Ellen, tell us a little bit about your journey, because I know from knowing you for a little bit of time, you didn't actually go to uni and then move into this construction industry. So I think it'd be really awesome for us to hear what other options are there outside of uni, because there is a lot of pressure on people leaving school and things to move into uni courses. So there's definitely options. So tell us about your journey.
Yeah, sure. So I grew up in country Victoria, and I was at a high school there, and I was on the pathway, or my dream career was to be a journalist, or to be in the media, or to be on a show like Getaway. This was when I was in high school. So I was always working towards going into journalism in university. But in year 11, my family decided to pack up and move to South Australia. So that completely threw me out of what I was working towards. I was taken away from my friends at school. I was in a new city. I had to start at a new school in a city. I was from country, so it was a very country, sort of country school. And then I've just been completely taken out of my depth and thrown into this new world. So I really didn't enjoy it. So I started in year 12 here in South Australia, and I really didn't enjoy it. I was, teenage angst. At your family, at being taken away from your friends.
Yeah.
So I sort of got through year 12 here, but didn't really, my university pathway sort of had fallen apart. That was off the radar, which was okay. And sort of, as soon as I finished school, I thought, I need to get a job. I need to make some money. What am I going to do? So I just applied for a role that was pretty simple administration at this company in the engineering industry, which I knew nothing about. And so, yeah, got the job, worked really hard at it, really immersed myself in getting to know the company, trying to figure out what engineering is, what construction is. And I always have been an ambitious person. So I knew that if I enjoyed the company or the workplace that I was in, that I could try and see what potential there was to sort of, this was a foot in the door to other potential roles. So that was sort of how I tackled that. I sort of treated it as, all right, let's really get our head around doing this role, doing it well, but then seeing what else I can do in this company. So that was about 13 years ago. I'm still at the same company. And since then, I sort of have my roles evolved. So I've sort of moved out of the admin side of things into a financial role. So I was doing, it was a national role. So the company has offices all around the country. And I learned to do management accounting, payroll, accounts payable. It was very diverse sort of role, and I really did enjoy that. I was probably doing that role for about 4 years, but I never felt like that was where I was supposed to be. It was very much in that role, you're very much heads down working, you've got a small team, you're talking to people around the country, but it's all online, it's all on the phone. Whereas I feel like I'm a people person, I like to be meeting people, getting out and about. And our team that I'm in currently, so I'm in the defence team now, the sector lead approached me, and the team was growing, and they were saying, would you like to join our team? You've sort of got these skills that we're missing, because typically in engineering, people are very technically smart, but in some cases they're not as outgoing, they're not as sort of extroverted. So they sort of said, some of these skills we might be able to, they might complement our team. So I gave that a go. I had no idea what I was in for, but I just thought, all right, like this is an opportunity. I could see the success of this team in the company, and I thought I really want to get involved. I don't know anything about delivering an engineering project or doing engineering design, but yeah, let's just give it a go. So I joined the team, and yeah, haven't looked back. It's been great. It's been the next evolution of my career, and it's taught me so much. I've had all these opportunities in leadership and project delivery, working with clients directly, working with project teams. So yeah, it feels like it's where I'm meant to be.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's really cool to hear that pathway, and that other people can have that pathway and still be really ambitious, even when they might not have a set destination like a uni degree that's going to lead them into this particular role. Yeah. And I think one of the words you used quite frequently talking about that was opportunity. So taking those opportunities when they came to you.
Yeah.
So what could you tell sort of people on a similar journey, or maybe thinking about not doing the traditional pathway of uni and moving into other areas? What does opportunity look like when it comes to them, and how would they just sort of take the leap? What kind of feelings are there before taking that leap?
Yeah, well, it's definitely daunting to put yourself into something that is unknown to you, but I can't recommend it more. If you can see an opportunity, my biggest message to people is to just say yes and then figure it out later.
Yeah.
People are very patient. People want to teach you. People want to see you succeed generally in life. So if you don't know how to do something, just throw yourself into it and figure it out. And it can go one or two ways. You can be really successful in it. You can learn, you can evolve, you can grow, or you can fail, and that is okay too, because I've had so many failures in my career. We all have. And it's just a learning point of what you do and don't like in your career or in life.
So. Yeah, and we all know that you still grow probably even more so from the losses than what you do from the wins. Yeah. So it's always good to just take that opportunity. So at the moment now you're working towards an associate level within the organisation that you work for. So how are you able to aspire to be in that position where generally for your industry it's probably sort of given to people that have those engineering backgrounds?
Yeah. So it's been something I've been aspiring to for a long time at my company. And like you said, it's typically not an option for, and it hasn't been an option for a non-engineer at this company. So I think I might be
So you're the first?
I think I might be the first
That's
non-technical
incredible. Yeah,
social
congrats.
Yeah, thank you. So it's basically a promotion. It's one of there's sort of a few hierarchies of promotions. This is probably the second or third from the top. So it's a program now that I'm on for the next 12 months. I've had someone sponsor me, someone
Wow.
that's already a director, and we're sort of working towards, we're setting goals and targets, and the promotion sort of gets announced in September. So
Yeah.
hopefully all going well, I should have that achievement in September, and that'll be a huge career sort of highlight for me.
Yeah, that's really incredible, and probably, like you said, just something so rare for someone without that degree and background to still have that aspiration to get to that level where you're amongst peers that maybe have probably chosen careers early on in their life where they probably didn't think that maybe it's not what they want or whatever. You've been able to sort of grow over that time and reach the same level.
Yeah, so and that's kind of the challenge that excites me. It's sort of like, okay, this is not the typical person that gets this promotion, but I'm excited to sort of be part of that now, and then also help others that may not have that engineering side that are coming up through the business that are deserving and worthy to go on the same journey and to sort of help others around the country. So it's very exciting,
and definitely you'll become that inspiration for other people that want to get there but don't have that engineering degree too,
hopefully
which is really nice.
Help others with that.
So you talked about a member from the organisation sponsoring you. So what's the process working towards that associate level? You're setting goals, and I'm guessing you're learning new tools and techniques. What's that kind of process like?
It's been really good. It's very much a developmental sort of program. So we undertook I wouldn't say personality test. It's more it's called the Hogan 360. Have you heard of that?
No.
It's a feedback. It's an anonymous feedback tool that is used.
Yes, I have heard of that, but please explain.
Yeah, so it's a feedback tool that is sent out to some of my managers, peers, reports, and they're giving me ratings on all of these leadership styles. There's all these questions, maybe 50 questions, and there's an opportunity to provide my strengths, my opportunities for improvement. They use that rather than weaknesses, and then just any other feedback people want to provide. And it's completely anonymous, and it gives you this overall rating. So that was one of the first activities that we did, and that was very interesting for me because I'd never seen anything like this, and I wasn't expecting this assessment to come through. So it's this real shock because all these people are rating you on all of these qualities, like things like this person is inspiring in the office, this person knows how to have a difficult conversation in the office, this person there's even questions, this person is friendly and warm, things like that. So that was good. It was really good. It sort of showed me where I sat without even being out. It showed where I honestly sat without, if I knew these questions were coming, maybe my behaviours would be displayed differently leading into it. But it kind of didn't. It caught me off guard.
Yeah.
So that was good. So then, based on those results, we sort of now work through new goals or skills where there might be some opportunities to improve, and it was even good to just show where my strengths already lie. So from there,
were you surprised by obviously along this journey there's a lot of self-reflection and stuff too that just you might do as a human, so was there surprises with what you considered your strengths to be versus what was coming out on these assessments? Or
somewhat. I think I'm a very self-aware person, so I think everything in there I was like, I knew this. My strengths are always the same, and these have been since I've been in primary school. Ellen is enthusiastic was my number one strength, and from there, and it was very much. I think the strengths were all things that are natural things to me that would be hard to improve. So there were things like Ellen is hardworking, Ellen is enthusiastic. All of those were some of my strengths, which is an easy one because someone that might not be hardworking or might not be an enthusiastic person, it's sort of hard to work on those skills. All of my opportunities to improve are ones that I can see I can improve. So there were things like Ellen is good at negotiating in meetings, or Ellen is, what else was on there? There were these skills that in a technical engineering company, something that I don't have a background in, I would expect to have those sort of opportunities to improve.
Yeah.
It was sort of like, just what I was saying, just sort of talking with clients, things like that. So those things where we've set those out and we're making goals to work towards improving those. But I think they're all somewhat achievable. So
yeah.
So
what's the importance of goal setting when you're sort of working towards a new feat and a new achievement? Yeah. So there's the long-term goal of getting that associate level. What's the little goals amongst that are really important to make sure that you can achieve this?
The little goals along the way are, I think it's the regular communication and meetings with my sponsor to make sure that we're tracking towards. So we've set these goals of things like Ellen will run 2 new project meetings for new project startups, because often in the projects I'm working on, there's usually someone above me that's delivering this project, but it's how can I step up and take a bit more leadership in those scenarios. What else was I going to say? No, sorry, I had something in my head and I've forgotten. But yeah, I think it's important to make sure you, like you said, have those goals along the way, because, you know, in September when this comes around, if we haven't really achieved much in between, it's sort of, you can see where some people may fail, because people do, once you're on this pathway, it's not guaranteed that you get the associate promotion.
Yeah.
There were people that didn't make it in the last round, which I hadn't seen before. So yeah, I think the importance of making sure that along the way you're working towards the goal.
Yeah. And you're talking about your sponsor. Obviously, your sponsor is helping you a lot through that journey. So, and in leadership, we always, well, not always, but we often encourage people to have mentors and people that are going to help guide them and pull them along with them. So how has it been? What's the importance of having that sponsor, and how is it different to maybe other mentors that you have in your life when you're focusing on this sponsor with your career?
Yeah. I think having a mentor or sponsor is one of the best things you can do, or someone that will provide you with honest feedback, or even just empowering someone to work towards something, because sometimes you can get in your own head, you can doubt yourself, you can have a lack of confidence, and just having someone there that says that they believe in you and that you can do it and let's set these goals is one of the best things that you can have in your career and life. Very grateful for my sponsor. I've worked with him for about 10 years now, and he has always, especially in our male-dominated industry, he has always looked at me on the same level as my colleagues that are engineers versus me, who's come from this non-technical background, a bit of a different career journey. There's never been a difference in the way that he's sort of treated me. He's always given me the same opportunities, you know, very, very fair person. But I've had a few other mentors in my time, and you can see the ones that truly care for you and want to help you do your best. There's some that there might not be you might just not have that, you know, you don't gel, I guess the word is.
Yeah.
So I think you just have to find the kind of person that you can work with and can sort of set these goals together and work towards, and have some fun as well.
Yeah, for sure. And you mentioned, and something that I haven't touched on yet, is that it is such a male-dominated industry, and being a female in that industry can obviously have its challenges. So what kind of challenges have you faced over your journey, both sort of being from a background of not studying an engineering degree, but also as a female in a male-dominated industry?
Yep. I think the number one for me can be you just can have limited thoughts, you can doubt yourself, you can have a lack of confidence, because often and generally, very generally speaking, you might be the least qualified person in the room, and you may also be around people that have, I'm trying to put this in the best way, you know, they all want to say something first. Everyone wants to dive in and have their say. So often I've noticed in the last few years that I'm so used to that behavior of people having something to say, talking over the top of each other. I'll just naturally sit back and just let it happen, and then I'll come out of a meeting and say, oh, I didn't say anything in that whole meeting. So that's definitely something I've been working towards. I was sort of working on as part of my leadership training. And now that I'm sort of aware of that, it's me sort of putting myself out there a bit more and trying to find the time to jump in. If I've got something to say, just say it. Don't even think twice. Just what else? If I don't say it, someone else is going to. So just go for it. Other challenges, I think that's the main one. I think there's also a lot of opportunity. Being in the male-dominated industry, I'm surrounded by some brilliant people. So I'm just trying to soak up as much of that as I can. I work with these high-achieving people, so I'm just trying to learn from them, be inspired by them, and also change the industry is what I sort of mentioned to you before this. I've seen it come a long way from when I started 13 years ago. There wasn't many female engineers coming through, but it is improving, and I'm excited to be part of the change. I formed a national women in our company sort of group, and we are working on all of these changes and bringing together the women around the country to just sort of have our own network. So that's been really inspiring to be part of that, and it's exciting to just sort of be able to be part of the change in the industry.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how do you challenge like that status quo and get more involved, you know, for other females in male-dominated industries? Like what kind of things have you done that they might be able to adopt to sort of promote the females working in that industry?
The self-promotion is a really good one. So that's something that we don't do enough. And so I've sort of been encouraging people around the country to, if you've done something, if you've got an achievement, if you've worked on a really interesting project, share it with everyone. Share it on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is very much used in our industry. It's sort of, you know,
it's like the Facebook of the
exactly,
of the construction or the Instagram of the construction industry.
Exactly. So just trying to get people to share their success stories a bit more is one of them. We're working on doing a lot of leadership training and sort of professional development work this year. So that's sort of in the works. We've got International Women's Day coming up. So in our industry, that's a very big day of the year because everyone wants to show that they're doing something for women in construction. So there's a few events on around that. So we're encouraging people to find events locally in their region, attend that, get out there, meet people, boost your network, talk to clients. So yeah, it's an exciting time.
Yeah, for sure. And there is, I know that lots of companies are also trying to get like a balance of female, male employees as well. Is that something that you've noticed in this industry start happening? Or?
Definitely, yeah. There is some annual reporting that we have to do as a company and our industry has to do to show our gender balance. Generally, I think in our industry, the balance is about, and don't quote me on this, but it's low. It might be 20% is a general number, male to female. So they're definitely, that's something that we're working on increasing more women coming through, and it's actually at a primary or high school level is where we need to target getting girls into being interested in STEM. So that's one of the activities we're doing this year is going around to schools and trying to encourage more girls to start STEM at an early age. And what else are we doing? There's a few plans in place. So
yeah, that's awesome. It's good to hear and it's encouraging to hear. And especially like we mentioned earlier, you can still be in the STEM industry without having like a degree necessarily. And if you're targeting those high school students that are still considering whether uni is for them, then it might be a really great opportunity for them too.
Absolutely.
Lead your ship and discover your potential. The leadership program from Pearl Potential Coaching and Hypnotherapy is for young leaders who are looking to make your mark early in your field. You can stand out from your fellow peers and colleagues by taking charge of your journey and living life to your fullest potential. Sign up now for the Lead Your Ship program, where you will learn new skills and strategies that can be used within your career and personal life. We know that when you lead your ship, you can open new opportunities to grow and learn. And the more opportunities you embrace, the more you will lead with purpose, intention, and full alignment to who you are. The Lead Your Ship course offers exciting and new themes such as choice, modelling, embracing uncertainty, setting boundaries, and leveling up your communication and presentation skills. This is a great opportunity at an affordable price to set yourself apart and reach your leadership potential. You will be offered different course electives so you can focus on areas of improvement. With multiple opportunities to check in with me, Alison, the Leadership Program Developer and owner of Pearl Potential Coaching and Hypnotherapy. I am so excited to see you navigate this new journey and watch you set sail into new destinations that you have never explored. We will uncover your pearls of wisdom and create a brighter and better future for you as a leader and those that you influence. Come on board and explore the ocean of possibilities. Be your captain, lead your ship, and discover your potential. So you mentioned about sometimes, you've experienced some doubts or limiting beliefs about what you can actually achieve. Obviously, you've had a really great journey in this company and the industry. So other than having support people, mentors, sponsors, what else do you do personally to help you sort of break through the barriers of any limiting beliefs you have around your skills and your knowledge and what you contribute to the industry?
Yeah, that's a good one. I think there's a lot of resources that have helped me. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and you listen to things that tell you, develop your confidence, believe in yourself, empower yourself. Those sort of messages work really well for me. Having a great group of friends is another really important one for me. I'm surrounded by really inspiring women like yourself, and males. It's not just women. That sort of, you are the people you surround yourself with. So if you've got some really inspiring people around you, or even if you have friends in your circle that might show signs of these limiting beliefs or lack of confidence in themselves, like how can you empower them? How can you help them? They're the sort of ones that come to mind mostly. I like to do lots of reading, listening, surrounding myself by people, learning from people. Like, I think that's one of my favorite things to do. Is everyone has their story, everyone has their own skills and things that they can share and learn and teach you. And so that's probably
And you said, which I love, you are the people you surround yourself with. Often, leaders or people that want to be more like others or have those aspirations, it is important to surround yourself with people that maybe are smarter or have those traits that you really desire. Yeah. So, and being in the industry you're in, you did say earlier that, you're surrounded by really intelligent people and you really like being a part of that. So how have you lent on these people and their intelligence, or what sort of traits do you see in them and that you like to surround yourself with to aspire to be?
Yeah, I definitely always, like I think I said this before, it's often like I'm one of the least qualified people in the room in a meeting that I go to. And I just really enjoy being around high achieving people. So in my team at my work, we're in a national group, and there's 3 of us, and we are sort of leading our sector to the next level in the future. And I don't really know what I'm doing day to day. I'm winging it, but I'm surrounded by people that are setting goals and have all of these aspirations into the future. So I'm like, okay, I want to get on board this too. I want to come along with this journey with you. Maybe it's a little bit of a different pathway for me, but I can give different opinions and different views and different ideas on things. So it's definitely inspiring for me to be around people that are working towards just big things, I think is the best way to say it.
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, you can bring these different ideas and perceptions from a different background, which is really great. So you're definitely an awesome leader and full of passion, which is so nice to see. So outside of work, let's talk about some of the fun things that you do. Like, health is so important to you. We know that you are very influential in your local run club. So how has that run club, or just running and health in general, helped you through some harder times that you've had and helps you sort of keep that energy level up?
So I've always been interested in running ever since I was young, but I sort of would come and go. I did City to Bay maybe 10 years ago, and then I wouldn't run for 2 years. Then I started at a gym in Prospect and really found my community. This is where I met Ali, and some other really close friends, and we heard about Prospect Run Club. Hope that's okay to name drop.
Yeah, I think so.
Everyone give it a follow.
Yeah, give it a follow on Instagram. Running for no reason.
Exactly. And I think the community side of that is my favourite part. But so we sort of got on board going along to the runs at a really early stage of that. At the time, there might have been 6 to 10 people running.
Yes,
you remember?
I remember the days. Yeah, it's how it's changed.
And this is probably 2 to 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And I really felt like I was really passionate at the time, you know, watching it grow, getting more people involved, seeing myself develop as a runner, seeing my friends get better at running, even just spending that hour with them and having coffee afterwards had such a positive impact on my mental health and the way I started the day.
Mm.
And we started getting involved on sort of the leadership side of things to the point now that we're in sort of the Prospect Run Club leadership team. And we've grown it from this 10, 20 people to we just had 126 runners out on Friday. So we've built this community that we see everyone else getting the same sort of benefits. We've seen people that have moved from, say, Darwin to Adelaide and don't really know anyone, and now they have their community and they love running and they have made new friends and connections. We've seen people that come in little circles of friends, but they've just widened their friendship circles, and now people are signing up to half marathons, people are signing up to marathons. And so it really fills up my cup to see the community building and seeing people working towards these new goals that they would never thought that they could do. Even when I joined up, I think I could do 10Ks, and I was really excited when I ran my first half marathon. And I thought, I don't think I could ever run a marathon. And now I'm about to run my third.
2 marathons down, including the New York Marathon, which is an awesome feat. And you raised a lot of money for your charity. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I had a good friend give us the opportunity to run the New York Marathon. This was in 2022. And he sort of gave us about 6 months notice. He said, do you want to run this marathon in 6 months' time? And I was like, seizing an opportunity. Don't think I can run a marathon, but let's go. Yes, I'd love to. So as part of our entry, it's quite hard to get. It's the world's biggest marathon. So you can either qualify in your time, which I would be so far off qualifying, or you can raise money for a charity. So we raised $10,000 for Little Heroes, which is just a children's charity here in South Australia, doing some great work to help kids in need. And so ran the 42Ks, raised the $10,000, and that was one of the highlights of my life. It was just surreal to just run the streets of New York with, I think it could be 40,000 people.
It's crazy.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was a great experience.
Yeah. Some awesome photos as well. If you want to have a look, I'm sure there's some on Prospect Run Club, but it was a little while ago. You've snuck in another marathon since then and have another one on the way.
Mm-hmm.
So running a marathon, and running's become probably a little bit more popular over the last few years, especially with COVID, lots of people joining the running movement. What kind of challenges do you face in a marathon? And maybe like if we look at that in your work and your career, how has running sort of helped influence and promote you in the career, or maybe make you think of challenges a different way?
Yeah. Running is it's very much a mental challenge. Whether you're going for a 5K run or a 42K run, you get in your head. And I think part of training for something like a half marathon or a full marathon is you really have to push through those battles, all those messages that your brain is sending you saying, I can't do this, I want to stop. You really have to push through that. And I think that's why people get so much joy out of achieving something like this, is because of the battle that you've gone through to cross that finish line. It's a very fulfilling feeling.
Yeah.
It's really challenging. I remember I ran the Melbourne Marathon last year with a friend, and she just said that she couldn't do it anymore, and we kept going together, and she pushed through that, and she has just had, it's almost like an epiphany in life. So yeah, it's very challenging, and I think that does apply to your work day to day. Sometimes your inner critic says you can't do this, don't do this, and it's just really about pushing through that, because most people can achieve so much more than they think. It's really just about pushing through that.
Yeah.
Those messages.
Yeah, I love the message of seizing the opportunities that you've sent to us throughout this whole interview process, and pushing through those brain messages as well, because, you know, in the hypnotherapy world, as a hypnotherapist, I'm very conscious of what are people hypnotizing themselves into believing. So having those messages and changing the way you're talking to yourself in moments of real, like, pushing those barriers, and breaking through those barriers, because once you're on the side, you can look back and think, that was so good. I can't believe how much growth I've had, even from one marathon run, you know. Not encouraging everyone to, like, go out and run a marathon. I mean, I wouldn't tell you to do that, but there is an option there if you want to have some personal growth. I'm sure that you would.
There are other ways as well. Yeah,
there are other ways, but hey, if it gets you fitter, it's a good option. So what about how running has then sort of flowed on to your role as the Lululemon Rundle Mall ambassador? How did you get that gig? Sort of what was it about, and what have you learned on that journey?
Oh, it's been great, but there is, you know, going back to this inner critic or self-doubt story. When I first got asked, I thought, why me? Why did they choose me to be this ambassador? And I've sort of told my friends this, and like, Ellen, you've built this run club community, you've done the New York Marathon, you're great, you're so worthy of this role. And for so long, I did not believe I was. So that was really interesting to see how I just naturally thought that of myself. But it's been great. So we did invite Lululemon to come to, when we did the New York Marathon, we did a quiz night to raise monies as part of the fundraiser. And one of the representatives there, she came along and they gave out some prizes. And I think she said from that night, when she sort of saw the community there, she said, yep, that's when we knew that you were our next ambassador. So I got asked, and of course I
took the opportunity.
Yes, took the opportunity.
She's a yes woman.
And so, it's a contract in place sort of from July to June. So I've only got a few months left, but it's been amazing. They've given us so much support. They have helped us with events. They've come out and done product drops where they give people at the Run Club all this new product. They have hosted these events for us, and they've shared it with the wider community. So it's been a really fun journey. There's been all these developmental learnings along the way. They've given us all these resources. It's helped me with confidence in even just things like social media. It's been great. So it's coming up to, it's about 4 months to go. So I'm sort of just thinking, what else? How can I make the most of this? I've only got 4 months to go. It's gone so fast.
Yeah.
I've met some really great people in the industry from this, because I've always been in this construction industry. That's sort of been my life, and it's almost opened up this new, and it's actually really made me realize how passionate I am about health and fitness, which I didn't realize. So it's been good to sort of enjoy running and fitness and that side of the community as well. So it's been really great to do something other than construction and engineering on the side. Yes, I've met some great people that are doing yoga, gyms, lots of breathwork stuff, swimming, all these really great sort of athletes and people in the fitness industry. So
incredible. And having a new space to share new ideas.
Exactly.
And like that can also stimulate how you go to work. You know, you said it's one of the best parts of starting your day, and starting your day right, going for the run, being a part of that community. So what's that ripple effect into your day at work? And, you know, you're so passionate about the community for the Run Club and Lululemon and things like that. What community do you create at work, knowing all those passions are there?
Yeah, well, we've actually created a run club at work.
So how good is that?
Which has been great. And so we probably have, so in our office there might be 100 people. We probably get between 15 and 20 sort of runners out, which I think is great. Great numbers. We did the City to Bay last year, and I think we had about 30 runners.
Wow.
And so that was really good. People are really enjoying our weekly run. So we'll run on Thursday mornings, do a 5K run around the city and get coffee, and just sitting with my colleagues. And often all of us don't work together day to day, but we sort of sit there and we have a chat, see what's going on, what projects we're working on. It's almost like a subtle mental health check-in, because you sort of say, how's your workload? What are you busy? What's going well in your life? Just those conversations which happen very naturally. So I think a lot of people get a lot out of those.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Runs. Yeah.
And they're getting this fitness kick as well, which is great in a different environment.
Yeah, so I've convinced a few people to sign up for the Gold Coast Marathon. I think there's 5 people from my work that are doing it
that's incredible.
Never thought they would do it. So yeah, I just really enjoy seeing other people throwing themselves out there.
Yeah.
Signing or committing to something they didn't think that they could do, working towards it, and then hopefully achieving it soon.
Yeah, a great quality to have as a leader as well, having the absolute passion to see other people achieve what they want to achieve.
Yeah.
So you've mentioned to me before that you really like to work. Well, we obviously can hear that you work really hard, but also just keep showing up. And showing up is almost becoming a bit of a buzzword. I've noticed. Like, just make sure you show up and stuff. What does that even mean? Like, what does it mean to you? How do you notice it in your day, and what changes from it when you show up?
Yeah, it's definitely committing. So I think if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to stay true to my word. Even if I, say something in advance, I say, yep, I'm going to do something. Then maybe my head goes, no, you don't want to do that. Just bail. I won't do that. If I've said I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And I think it's also putting all of or as much energy as you can into doing something. It's easy to just sort of do the bare minimum and deliver a piece of work or run a meeting or, anything like that, just the bare minimum to get by. But it's going over and above for me. It's always sort of trying to just do a little bit, like, 110% or a little bit better, to just sort of make sure that you're doing the best you can, giving the best to the people around you, giving the best to your teams. That's sort of what it is for me. Yeah, I think that's...
So what's the flow-on effect from showing up for people?
I think it creates, in the workplace, I think it creates an energy. There's an energy in my team that is, we're almost all sort of on this, everyone's showing up, everyone's trying to deliver the best projects, everyone's trying to sort of lead and inspire people around them, and it's created this sort of, everyone just wants to keep working towards something bigger and better. So I think that's how I've sort of fallen into the right team, is just watching us all sort of keep moving forwards. I think is that's what it looks like for my day to day. Yeah.
So tell us about a time where you had this you have this really towards motivation, you like to move forwards and you like to grow things. Was there a time where, like, that was maybe a concept that you weren't sure you could embrace? How do people switch a mindset?
I think I've always been a forward-looking person, almost to sometimes the way I see it is maybe sometimes I might not be present enough, or maybe I might not be reflecting enough. It's almost always like, okay, what's next? Sorry, what was the back end of your question?
So when you're thinking about the towards and stuff, was there a point in your life that you didn't maybe have that, or how can people change that mindset of moving more towards what you really want and growth?
Yeah, I think it's the small goals along the way, like we were talking about before. You might have a vision of what you want over here, and it can be very overwhelming to say, how do I go from here to here? You need to have your sort of, what can I do today to get me there? What can I do in 2 weeks to get me there? What can I do in a month? I guess if you're talking about running and doing a running event, I need to go and do one run this week, 4Ks. That's just a number. But in 2 weeks' time, I need to be running twice a week and building it up slowly to get there. And I think in terms of a career or another goal that someone might have, it's just, what can you do day to day? What can you do each month? What can you do along the way to sort of, it's a stepping stone. It's not always just here to here. Or when you're looking here to here, it can just be so overwhelming. So it's break it down.
Yeah.
What can you do each day to work towards those goals?
Yeah. And sometimes people can get so fixated on that long-term goal that they forget about celebrating those little steps.
Yeah. So that's another very important thing, is just celebrating your achievements along the way.
Yeah. So what kind of things, like how can people celebrate and actually stay in the moment of being like, no, I actually did that and that was a really great achievement?
Yeah. Running is definitely one that is an easy one to talk about. It's showing up for a run and doing 3Ks, 4Ks, 5Ks, and going, okay, I turned up and I've done this run and I feel pretty good. And talking about your celebrations with your friends, I think, is always important. People love to know what everyone's up to.
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels weird to sort of say, I'm doing this and this, but I want to hear what your achievements are. I want to hear what all my friends' achievements are. So
yeah. So we need to stop holding back, because we need to believe that other people actually love seeing us grow.
Yeah, that's absolutely
and love
true.
seeing us achieve. And like you mentioned earlier, there's in more of the business setting, there's LinkedIn is a great way to celebrate those wins as well. Sharing it and seeing all the positive comments that come with that.
Absolutely. It can be daunting to post stuff about yourself, but commit to doing maybe one a month or once every quarter, even, to just say, I've delivered this project successfully, or this project's achieved this milestone. Thank you to my team. And you're right, that people comment, people share it, people give you good feedback. And
sometimes people that you would never expect.
Yeah. And it's actually quite interesting. Just an example from doing that I had last week was, I shared something on LinkedIn about an event I went to. It was a Women in Construction event. And I think sharing stuff like that puts your name out there to other people. And I got an invitation to an event about 2 days later for a defense industry leaders lunch.
Wow.
And I said to my colleagues that when I got it, I was like, I think this came through because someone had seen my LinkedIn post and now this has come through. So definitely don't underestimate the power of social media, LinkedIn, and just putting yourself out there to the world, because...
And doing that has now created a new opportunity that you've said yes to.
Yeah.
Every time you have these new opportunities and create these new spaces, you then just expand and expand and expand even further.
Yeah. So it's definitely daunting, but it's worth it, and it gets, you get more confident in it.
Yeah, totally. And you mentioned earlier that sometimes you're so driven towards something that you might lack a little bit of time of reflecting on sort of the things that have gone past. When you think about reflection, what would you encourage people to do, and how often should we be reflecting on things, not just our wins, but maybe also the lessons that we've learned from that maybe didn't go so well?
Yeah, I probably do a little self-reflection maybe once a week sort of thing. And it's definitely important to do, because you need to know where your learnings are, where something may have gone wrong and what you can learn from it. And also what went well this week, what didn't go well, and how you can sort of improve it. I think that's the way I sort of always try to, if I'm doing my reflections, it's what improvements can I make? I think for this week, personally, if I reflect on this week, I had a pretty low energy week, so I didn't really go to the gym. I was okay at work. I wasn't my absolute shining superstar best, but so now just the weekend's here and I'm just reflecting and I'm like, okay, all right, I had a low energy week. I accept that. I was tired. Let's start the brand new week fresh. Let's, pencil in a couple of gym sessions, do these runs, achieve this, and, think about what I want to achieve at work this week. So
yeah, nice.
I think it's good to reflect, but also not be too hard on yourself if you do have those weeks where you might not have achieved everything you wanted. Because, it's a brand new week now.
Yeah,
let's start again.
You can start again, and even just acknowledging when you don't have the high energy weeks, like you've just said, acknowledging it, accepting it, embracing it, and then just using that to springboard into a new week, and setting those targets for yourself. Yeah, not being so hard. I mean, we're all guilty of that at times, aren't we?
We are. We are. And just on that, it's when you have those weeks, sometimes you'll see all over social media, everyone's out running, everyone's out at the gym. That can be hard as well. So I actually didn't go on social media for about 40 hours over the earlier in the week, because I just thought, I'm looking at social media and seeing everyone doing this. This is affecting my mood, and this is affecting how I feel about myself. So I just logged off for a couple of days and came back on when I was feeling better and ready to go. And so I think those things are important as well in terms of comparing yourself to others. The internet's just showing everyone's highlight reel. So everyone, we hear this all the time. So in those cases, just switch off for a little bit.
Yeah, great advice. Totally taking away that sort of trigger that is making you feel maybe even worse than when you're having a low energy week. Removing that trigger and having that boundary to do it is also important. So I think that's really good for people to start building boundaries, which we talk a lot about in leadership, making sure you have those boundaries for yourself. So Ellen, thank you so much. We've learned so much. I think like lots of key messages from you, taking on opportunities and the ripple effect that it has, which has been awesome. And if people would like to maybe connect with Ellen a little bit more, she's at Prospect Run Club on Friday mornings. You won't miss her there. Also occasionally on, most Tuesdays, depending on energy levels, and Sunday mornings too. Or if you want to have some marathon advice, I'm sure Ellen would be more than happy to give it to you.
Love to talk running anytime. So feel free to hit me up.
Yeah. So thank you so much for all your words of wisdom and pearls of wisdom. I definitely appreciate you coming in.
And thank you, Ali. No, this has been great. It's been really good to talk these things through. And it's been good to catch up.
Nice to reflect.
It is. It is. So thank you for having me.
Great. Thank you. Lead your ship and discover your potential. The leadership program from Pearl Potential Coaching and Hypnotherapy is for young leaders who are looking to make your mark early in your field. You can stand out from your fellow peers and colleagues by taking charge of your journey and living life to your fullest potential. Sign up now for the Lead Your Ship program, where you will learn new skills and strategies that can be used within your career and personal life. We know that when you lead your ship, you can open new opportunities to grow and learn. And the more opportunities you embrace, the more you will lead with purpose, intention, and full alignment to who you are. The Lead Your Ship course offers exciting and new themes such as choice, modeling, embracing uncertainty, setting boundaries, and leveling up your communication and presentation skills. This is a great opportunity at an affordable price to set yourself apart and reach your leadership potential. You will be offered different course electives so you can focus on areas of improvement. With multiple opportunities to check in with me, Alison, the leadership program developer and owner of Pearl Potential Coaching and Hypnotherapy. I am so excited to see you navigate this new journey and watch you set sail into new destinations that you have never explored. We will uncover your pearls of wisdom and create a brighter and better future for you as a leader and those that you influence. Come on board and explore the ocean of possibilities. Be your captain, lead your ship, and discover your potential.